Hello and welcome to HITC Sport, and what a start it was to the Premier League season. Liverpool won, West Ham looked crap and Kepa made another mistake. Yes, the more things change, the more they stay the same. But today what I'm going to do is look at every month of the new Premier League season and predict a few things I think will happen. September, Man United signed Jadon Sancho. It's the transfer saga that's dominating the summer, but I think come the end of this month Jadon Sancho will be a Man United player. Sure, the Red Devils don't want to pay the full price for the youngster, but surely common sense will prevail. This guy could be the biggest name in English football in a few years' time. He's already proven to be an elite player in a top European league, and his peak years are still ahead of him. So Ed Woodward, get yourself back in the game, ring 0800 Borussia Dortmund, dig around the back of the couch for some extra pennies, and make sure you don't come back to Old Trafford without Jadon Sancho, because Man United fans deserve better than have to wonder when Jesse Lingard's going to complete his first pass of the game in the 67th minute. October, Tottenham signed Troy Deeney. We all saw the Tottenham game on Sunday afternoon, and it's fair to say they looked pretty toothless. The intensity was nowhere to be seen. They made Everton look like prime Barcelona back when the Catalans were actually half good. Jose Mourinho is going to be badgering Daniel Levy for new recruits between now and the end of the window, especially with no backup for Harry Kane once again, and we all saw how angry he got in the Amazon documentary when the striker got injured. So to avoid that level of unhappiness, I think come deadline day on October 12th, Tottenham will have signed a striker. But it'll only be Troy Deeney from Watford, which would be kind of funny as Arsenal fans hate him enough as it is right now. October, Everton beat Liverpool. As I've already said, Everton looked damn good on Sunday, and I don't think that was just down to Spurs being absolutely crap. On the face of it, it looks like Carlo Ancelotti's got something at Goodison Park. The new signings look good, and while Liverpool are still the best in the land, they should be looking over the shoulders and keep an eye on their not so noisy neighbours in blue. When it comes to the Merseyside derby, Liverpool have dominated, but come October 17th at Goodison Park, I think Everton will end their barren run and beat their rivals, putting an early dent in their title charge. October, Leeds end the month in the top 4. Even though they lost, everyone's raving about Leeds United. They took Liverpool to the kind of limit, narrowly losing 4-3 to the champions. 3 shots on target and all 3 went in. Even Patrick Bamford scored. I was worried that meant the apocalypse was coming. And that Jack Harrison goal was a thing of beauty. The pass from Phillips, the touch from Harrison, and then the finish. A goal made with a fade and a man bun. While they did lose, I think they proved themselves enough, against the best in the country no less, and come the end of October, I think Leeds will be in the top 4. The fixtures are decent, and I could even see them taking a point against Man City. They won't end the season in the top 4, but they're definitely going to get off to a hot start. November, West Ham sack David Moyes. This is inevitable. There's no way West Ham are going to end this season with David Moyes in charge. In fact, I can't see him lasting until Christmas. Just as West Ham boss, Christ, that made him sound like he was going to die. I'm sure David Moyes is fitting well. But anyway, they narrowly avoided relegation last season, which would have been disastrous, and come November this season they're going to be in an equally as perilous position. They needed to get off to a good start, but instead they made Jeff Hendrick look like the signing of the summer. The Hammers have got a rotten run of fixtures now, and come November when they fail to beat Fulham and Sheffield United, David Moyes is going to get the sack. The West Ham owners will panic and get rid of the man they inexplicably selected and try bring someone else to save their bacon. How's the bacon, did you say? November, West Ham appoints Sam Allardyce. That's right, by November I think Big Sam will be back in the beautiful game and tasked with saving his former club. Sam Allardyce was hardly a popular figure at Upton Park back in the day. His style of football wasn't befitting of the age-old West Ham way, which is probably about as attractive as HITC trying to make a fashion video. But West Ham will need someone reliable who can keep them up, and that's exactly what Sam Allardyce is. December, Newcastle to be taken over. Okay, this one's more out of hope rather than expectation, but as it stands the Newcastle takeover is off, and Mike Ashley's appointed elite level lawyers to take the Premier League to task. They've got the same guy who got Man City off the hook from the Champions League eviction, so getting the Premier League to pass a takeover from the Saudi state should be a piece of cake. The legal process is going to be another mad twist in the Newcastle takeover saga. Honestly, it's up there with Emmerdale Corrie for drama. There's so many twists and turns I think I'm watching the F1. But by December I think Mike Ashley will have won his legal battle and thus force the Premier League to change their decision and give the Newcastle takeover the green light. This one's 100% not going to happen. There's more chance of Messi going to Stoke. December, Richard Masters resigns. This one's totally dependent on the last one, but if Mike Ashley does win his legal battle and forces the takeover through, then I think big old Dickie Masters will have no choice but to resign from his post as Premier League Chief Exec. Who could replace him? Well, I reckon I could do a decent job, providing it's part-time of course, man's still got videos to make. January, Mo Salah scores his 20th of the season. The Egyptian king netted a hat-trick on the opening day against Leeds and looked as hungry as ever to score goals, even if his 2 of his strikes were from the penalty spot. It's early days, but this looks like it's going to be another elite season from Mo Salah, and by January I reckon we've already hit the 20 goal mark. Come on Mo, only 17 to go, you can do it, I know you're watching. January, Jack Grealish leaves Aston Villa. Right, I had this written down in my notes before he signed his new contract, but I'm still going to predict it. January is going to be the time for Jack Grealish to go. Villa will be battling relegation, while Grealish will see his England hopes slipping through his fingers. Where will he go? Let's be wild and say Man City. February, Sean Dyche resigns as Burnley boss. This is a bold prediction, but I'll go with it. I think once the January transfer window slams shut, Sean Dyche will walk away from Turf Moor. The Clouds never really spend any money, while they're also feeling off their key player James Tarkowski. I think in January he'll eventually be sold for 35 million, maybe 40 million, which will push Sean Dyche over the edge. He'll pack his bag, clear to his desk, take a mouthful of gravel and walk away from the place he's called home since 2012. February, Trent trial in centre midfield. It's going to happen one day, even if he is one of the best right backs around. Come February I think Trent will get a chance in the middle of the park for Liverpool, all the while giving Neco Williams more minutes in the first team at right back. He'll get a few games in centre midfield and he'll do nothing, proving that there's nothing wrong with just being a really good right back. The game's moved on, no one wants to be a Gary Neville, but they certainly want to be a Trent Alexander-Arnold. March, Harry Kane hands in a transfer request. I've just got a feeling this is going to be Harry Kane's last season in the Tottenham shirt. The man's entering his peak years as a footballer, and the closest he came to winning a trophy was England fluking the way to a World Cup semi. Kane needs to leave to get his hands on some silverware, and come March when the only silverware Tottenham have is the knives and forks and catering, Kane will set the wheels in motion and confirm he wants to leave the club. March, Kane to Man United rumours begin. And as soon as Kane states his intentions to leave, the Man United rumours will begin to intensify. I don't know if that's where he will go, but you just know for a fact they're going to be the most heavily linked club. It'll be slapped all over the tabloid papers, along with headlines about the disgraced Mason Greenwood and his wacky batty laughing gas whatever it is, and politicians slagging off Marcus Rashford for not wanting kids to starve. March, Wolves win the League Cup. In March, the 2021 League Cup will be on the line, but more importantly, a place in the first ever Europa Conference League, a trophy we've all wanted to win since we were in nappies. This year in particular, I think the big clubs will sack off the Carabao Cup, meaning a club like Wolves have got a huge chance of winning something. April, West Brom are relegated early. The baggies are going down. Sorry lads, I can't see any way you're going to stay up. In fact, I can see you getting relegated really early. Come April 24th when they're meant to play Arsenal, I think they'll confirm their relegation. But never mind lads, we'll see you in the 2022-23 season. April, the England hysteria begins. It comes with every major tournament. Next April, all the talk will be about who Gareth Southgate's going to pick for his Euro 2021 squad. Sorry, Euro 2020, it's still that, isn't it? Madness. Anyway, come the end of the season, we'll see Mason Greenwood and Phil Foden playing brilliantly, maybe even Mason Mount and Joe Gomez, leading to the mass hysteria from the public and the press, all tipping England to go the distance and win something. They're going to bring football home, and then the same press and public will hammer them after they draw the first game in Croatia. I can see the headline now. Souness blames Pogba as England's scum, Sterling and Greenwood shame the nation. May, Arsenal finish 4th and celebrate like it's a trophy just like the good old days. There's nothing I want to see more in May than Arsenal players going their absolute limits and taking selfies all over the pitch because they've secured 4th spot in Champions League football. Imagine the nostalgia, man. It'll be absolutely class. Then we'll pan to the studio where Roy Keane, his eyes like daggers, explode with rage because he's so appalled at the scene. Absolutely iconic. Come on Mikel, make it happen. So there we have it, those are my predictions for every month of the Premier League season. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to HYTC Sport, and until next time, we'll see you around.